everyone. This is 1-800-LAWYER-UP from FormalFocus.com, and welcome to episode Unlucky 13, entitled Best Friends Forever, BFFs. And in today's Secret Public Diary entry, I'm going to be talking about how to identify your BFFs versus just your regular, I guess, Fs, your friends, and your best friends forever. So we're just kind of distinguishing the two. The first is, and I've indicated like 4 different kind of indicators that you've got like a BFF that you should hang on to. So the first is you can just pick up where you left off, right? So personally for me, I met a lot of BFFs from law school, and the thing is, I actually live in the city where my university and faculty of law was located. So, I lived in the city, I know where the spots are, but a lot of my BFFs or individuals I met, which ended up being BFFs, were from law school, but they lived in a different city, or they lived here, but they found a job with another law firm in a different city. So I don't get to really see them as often as I would like to. But the thing is, it doesn't matter how much period of time there is between seeing your BFFs. When you do see them, it's just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up, and you're hugging, there's smiles and stuff. And it's different from like friends, regular friends you haven't seen for a while, because there's always that like tentativeness, right? Where, you're cool with the person, but you're not like, I'm gonna dab you up, I'm gonna like jump on you, give you a big hug type thing, right? So BFFs are individuals where you can just kind of let your guard down, you pick up where you left off, you guys like know each other inside out, and you get to having fun again, right? And especially when there's time off with BFFs, I mean, kind of that first time you see each other again is always like magical, because it's just kind of like, man, I missed you, right? And like it's just like this flood of emotions and stuff like that. And even your other friends, your current friends, I guess, that you hang out with can kind of see it too, because there's like a definitive change in your attitude when you see that BFF, right, after a long hiatus. And that moves into kind of the second point is when you do hang out with friends, like, do you feel like exhausted at the end of that social interaction, right? Because I've had friends where I've hung out. A lot of the times it's not really an organized event. It's sort of like a professional obligation. So maybe that had something to do with it. But you kind of feel like you have your guard up all the time, and you're still thinking about what you need to say, and you're worried about offending people's feelings and stuff like that, and like you're smiling and laughing at jokes which really aren't funny. It's just kind of the professional dad jokes, right, where you're like obligated to giggle and smile, right? It's I found that extremely exhausting, and I just couldn't wait to go home. But when you're with a BFF, you can kind of say what you want, and like even if the context is malicious, they know you don't really mean what you say. You can let your guard down, and it actually lifts you up rather than it exhausts you. Like, you gain energy from that. It's kind of like a really good workout, right? If you had a bad workout, it's because, I don't know, maybe you were lifting inappropriately, you didn't stretch, you pulled something, and you feel much worse than you did when you first started. But when you have a really good workout, even though like it's the same intensity as the workout you got injured in, you just feel much better. Like it's like that. So the level of exhaustion, if you're not exhausted, then maybe you have a BFF. And another thing with that is, because you can let your guard down, and this is the third point, is good friends tell you things are going to be okay, but BFFs tell you when things aren't going to be okay. They're the individuals that are going to have the hard conversations with you, and they do it because they genuinely care for you. There's no personal gain for them by telling you anything, right, because it's like a hard conversation, but they genuinely care about your well-being, so they'll have that hard conversation with you, and that's just because they care. Finally, and this is just kind of like an aside thing, can you fart and burp in front of them? Because if you can, that's kind of like a definitive line in the sand. It's like sending a dick pic to a girl, right? I've never done it. I've known people who have, and it's just completely insane to me. But it's just kind of like, it's like a yes or no, right? It's kind of like a point of no return. You're literally, dusting them with a toxic caustic gas, like an Apex, thrown your ultimate in there, and it's going to be like completely disgusting. It's probably going to sound wet, and they're still going to be okay with that. So if they are okay with that, if they have hard conversations with you, you can fart and burp in front of them, you can pick up where you left off, and you're not exhausted, you have a BFF. But that's my time. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.